Have you ever wondered what the top 1% of any industry, athlete, organization do to go from being seen as excellent in a respective industry to being seen as outstanding? What Tony Robbins calls that 1% difference. Declassify will bring you these leaders and will break down and share the key strategies they did and still do to stay at the top of their respective industries and lives. Good morning. Welcome to Dave Sanderson Declassified. And today I'm really excited to have a friend of mine, Michael Angelo Caruso, on with me. Michael Angelo Caruso is an internationally recognized author and speaker. He's the founder of Edison House, a Michigan-based communications consulting company. Michael teaches presentation skills drawing on his unique background in the technology sector and the entertainment business. Welcome to Dave Sanderson Declassified, Michael.
Hey, it's good to be with you, Dave. Thanks for asking.
I'm excited to have you because I'm really excited to hear what is the secret to storytelling.
Well, storytelling, as you know, Dave, is a very coveted type of discipline in the speaking business. I always tell people that audiences don't want more bullet points. They want success stories. They don't want more PowerPoint slides. They want to be inspired by something that actually happened, something that they can make themselves the hero of and transpose into their own lives. And that's what stories do for us. The secret to storytelling is really understanding narrative and working with it. There's a very famous book, and the author's name escapes me right now, but it's not too hard to find. It's been put forth for some time that there are 7 types of stories. And so once you understand how stories work, you start to get into each of those types, whichever one works for you and how you're communicating with people. And you understand that there are 3 basic parts to a story. I don't want to overcomplicate this. There's a beginning, a middle, and an end. So you decide what type of story you're going to tell, and then you start breaking it down. How will you pull people into the story? How will you keep them interested once the story gets started? And then finally, how will the story end and leave the audience with some sort of lesson or moral? So in my business, as a motivational speaker, as someone who's trying to inspire people to be their best and to do great things, I'm focused on positive morals, right? Good life lessons, things that people can bring into their own lives. A good story has 3 characteristics. It's short. We call it a short story, not a tall tale, right? It's true. It actually happened. And by short, I mean about 2 minutes. It's no secret that if you're going to put your short story on YouTube or some sort of video format, that you'll get a higher click-through rate if you're dealing with a 2-minute to 3-minute story versus a 10-minute to 11-minute story. So you want it to be short. The second characteristic of a good story is you want it to be interesting. Nobody wants to, we've all been at cocktail parties where somebody starts telling a story that's not interesting at all. And then you're stuck, right? And then at the end, if it's a funny ending or something, you have to fake laugh, and then there's all this artificiality. No fun at all. And then the third characteristic is this takeaway, this lesson that people can learn and apply in their own lives. I want to demonstrate these 3 characteristics in a story that I've been telling for years. It's on the internet. You can find it easily with my name, Michael Angelo Caruso, and the phrase "above the clouds." That's the name of the story. And it's the story about the time I got on an airplane and the pilot came on as everybody's boarding, and he said, "Ladies and gentlemen, would you please take your seats? We'd like to leave early." Okay, so a little breakaway here. That's the beginning of the story. Everybody's flown. If you've never heard a pilot say this is mildly interesting to you, and now I've got you, right? The pilot says, "Would you please take your seats? We'd like to leave early." Boy, this works like a charm. Everybody sits down right away, buckles up, and the pilot comes back on to make a second announcement. He says, "Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for cooperating. Now that you're all seated, we can, in fact, leave early. We need to leave early in order for you not to miss your connection because we're expecting weather." Now, when a pilot talks about weather, he's never talking about good weather. And so he starts telling us about the storm that's coming in, and already it's overcast. It's daylight, but we can hardly see outside because it's so dark. The pilot says, "We're asking the flight attendants to remain seated. We're suspending all beverage services. And we want you to know that even though we won't be able to see outside, we will be flying in a condition called zero visibility. We are instrument rated in the cockpit, and therefore this flight will be safe." Well, needless to say, tension is ratcheting up in the plane. But he was right. It was a safe takeoff. It was just a very violent takeoff. We were mentally prepared for it. And, the higher that plane climbed, the rougher the flight. Shimmy, shake, rock and roll flight. But here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. The higher that plane climbed, the smoother the flight. We flew out of the clouds back into the sunshine because, ladies and gentlemen, the sun is out every day. All you need to decide is whether you want to fly your plane in the clouds or above them. That story, ladies and gentlemen, clocks in at about 2 minutes. I've told it live in almost every state of the union, and it's a short, interesting, positive takeaway for people about attitude. And that is how you tell an interesting story.
Well, Michael, thank you. Well, that's a great story, not only to sort of share how you do it, but it's really the secret. It's a great storytelling. Thank you so much, Michael, for sharing that with us today. And if you'd like to get a hold of Michael, please connect with him on LinkedIn at Michael Angelo Caruso and on Facebook at Michael Angelo Caruso likewise. And as my gift to you, if you would text 797979 and put the word brace, the number 4 impact in, I will send to you as my gift the first video of my upcoming course, Overcoming Adversity in Challenging Times. This is my gift to you. And until tomorrow, make sure that you make all the moments in your life matter. And this is Dave Sanderson, Declassified.